Welcome to another episode of the Olive Roots podcast. I'm your host, Xueqin. Today I want to discuss this video that was created by Professor Jiang. He's a Chinese man that has been talking about a lot of things. This man is very aware of a lot of topics, especially God's chosen people. So last week he discussed this war between the US, Iran, and Israel. So let's take a look at this video. In the meantime, if you're interested in this hat, go to the oliverootspodcast.com. I added another hat. It says Yeshua on it, Jesus in Arabic. Also, if you would like to contribute, I have a link in the comments. I pinned it. It takes you to this website, Buy Me a Coffee. So you're able to support me, donate, and a lot of this money will be sent to Gaza. All right, without further ado, let us begin checking out this video.
I hope everyone had a nice break, and welcome back to the end of the world. So as you know, World War III has started. The United States and Israel have started to attack Iran.
So this was last week, guys. And I have not watched the whole thing, but I realized, why not? So let's see.
And we are now in the fourth day of this war. And we can expect this war to last for many weeks, possibly also for many years. But I promise you that after this war is done, the world will never be the same again.
Yeah. I think there is a big move to change the course of the world, the new world order, maybe the greater Israel, maybe the greater Turkey, maybe the greater USA. Who knows? Anything is possible. When you have Pete Hegseth saying that this war was ordained by Christ. So he's saying that Jesus told them and is using Donald Trump to fight this new crusade. And as you know, there's a big propaganda movement coming in America, funded by the Zionist state of Israel, pushing for the war in Iran to save Iranians by unaliving them. And you have Zionist Iranians in the West celebrating. And every celebration that you see in the streets, which flag is always there? The flag of the Antichrist genocidal state of Israel. Let us proceed.
So what we will do these next few weeks is use game theory and understand and analyze the geopolitical situation. And so I'm going to teach you the ideas, the theory, the techniques to understand the world around you and make predictions. And we can know if our analysis is correct because all this is happening in real time. And so we can test it against reality.
This professor already predicted that we're going to end up with a war between the US, Israel versus Iran. And he predicted that a while back after the 12-day war. So he's definitely worth watching. He knows history. He calls it predictive history because humans tend to repeat history. History does not repeat itself. People repeat history because you have Christian Zionists are trying to fight Old Testament wars that have already been fulfilled thousands and thousands years ago. But these people think that they have not been fulfilled. 1948 was a fulfillment of prophecies, yada, yada, yada. I believe 1948, it is a fulfillment of prophecy, but not in the way that the Zionists think. I think the fulfillment of the prophecy of the Bible is that now we know who's Mystery Babylon. Mystery Babylon is Jerusalem since the 1948, when the Antichrist moved to the Holy Land and made it unholy. But that's another topic for another day. Let us proceed.
All right, so let's go over some basic facts about what's happened so far. So in the early morning of Saturday in Tehran, the Israelis and Americans launched a decapitation strike against the Ayatollah Khamenei, who is the supreme leader of Iran.
As you guys know, last week, right?
Now, there are arguments and disputes about as to what happened. The Americans and Israelis said that they had real intelligence about where the leader was, and so they sent airplanes to just bomb the crap out of the place. They also had a spy who was able to record the body of the dead Ayatollah, and then this was announced. At first, the Iranians denied this, and the Iranians insisted he was still alive. But eventually, state media admitted that he did die in the airstrike.
Remember, the first thing that was bombed is a school of kids, little girls. They killed more than 100 little girls, children. Right on brand with Israel. I'm sure the US have done that too. So when we talk about terrorism, we know who's the real terrorist.
But then what they also said is that the Ayatollah, he's 86 years old, and he chose to die. He could have gone to Moscow, but instead he chose to stay in Tehran and die for his people. But not only that, but he died along many of his relatives.
Because he was not a coward. He realized that a lot of Iranians are unable to flee or hide or do anything. So he said, well, I'm going to live like the rest of the citizens. Instead of hiding in bunker or fleeing his country like Malkowski the coward did, Khamenei decided to stay with his family and be martyred. And that's what happened.
He died along with his daughter, his son-in-law, his grandchildren.
Whether you like him or not, that's what happened.
So many of the family died in this assault.
Imagine him and his whole family. This is how Israel and the United States of Israel work. When one person does something that is considered bad, you eliminate their whole family. Why? Because their family is Amalek.
Also, there's been reporting that he had prostate cancer. Okay, so he was going to die fairly soon as well. So what you need to understand first about the war is that even though the Americans and Israelis claim great success in decapitating the leadership of the Iranians, from the Iranian perspective, this is a martyrdom. Martyrdom, okay?
Shahid.
And so the religion of the Iranians is called Shia.
They're Shia Muslim.
Muslim. And this is different from Sunni Muslim. So
back home in Palestine, I don't remember meeting many Shia Muslims. I think most Palestinian Muslims are Sunni in Palestine, but there are Shias in Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, so many other Arab countries.
Sunnis are the majority. They're about 9% of all Muslims in the world. The Shia have always been the minority.
It's like a different denomination, just like you have Catholicism, Orthodoxy, Protestant, etc. Muslims also have that, so they have their differences as well. And some people call the others, you're not Muslim, kind of like a Christian calling another person from a different denomination, you're not Christian. So unfortunately, they have their own divisions as well. Instead of uniting against the enemy, they like to divide because the enemy divides and conquers, right?
And as such, they've always been persecuted. So in the Shia faith, the core value, the force that binds everyone together and gives them purpose and meaning in life, that galvanizes them into action, is the idea of martyrdom, which forces jihad. To sacrifice yourself for your religion, sacrifice yourself for the common good.
It's kind of like what everybody else is doing in the name of the religion. I'm going to go kill people and be killed and become a martyr for God. Because that's what God wants us to do, right? Because God gives us life so we can kill each other. I'm against that whole concept, by the way. Honorably defending your family, defending yourself is a different topic. But I don't support war. I know it's necessary and resistance is important, but an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, no, I believe in turning the other cheek. Because this world is coming to an end. And there will no longer be this life that you know. And you will have to face God. And God said, thou shalt not murder. So that's what I go with.
So think of the death of Khamenei as a sacrifice, a self-sacrifice, in order to motivate the Iranians in this war, okay?
It's kind of like Khamenei to the Shia. It's like think about the Pope to the Catholics. So they think they're taking the head of the snake, but they actually created a lot of chaos. And that might be on purpose, because most of the Sunni countries around the Shia, Iran, they have American bases. So they look to Iran like traitors. And they have their differences. And in the past, there have been many wars between different caliphates of Shia and Muslim. They always had troubles because of their beliefs. Muslims and Muhammad, Shiites and Ali. And they have their differences, even though from the outside to somebody who's not either or, you see them as the same thing, as Muslim. Kind of like a Muslim looking at Catholicism, Orthodoxy, Protestant, you're Christian. You understand? Kind of like God's chosen people. Same thing. You don't know who's Orthodox, who's tiny hat, who's atheist. You don't know. So everybody get bulked in the same bowl. And if you think about, have there ever been attacks in America by Shia Muslims? I can't think of one. But apparently they're the enemy.
So that's the first thing you need to understand. That for the Iranians, this is not a geopolitical war. This is not an economic war. This is not a war of resistance. This is a jihad. Okay? It's a war against the great Satan to avenge their leader.
The great Satan as the US, and the small Satan is Israel. Remember, man, that's very important. And I have this video you can watch on my channel talking about when Iran burned Baal, B-A-A-L, Baal, Moloch, which is the god of the modern state of Israel and America. Remember, they created that statue with the horns, with the star of Remphan on his forehead, and they put Trump and Malkowski and the Israeli flag, and they burned it. So by you burning the god of the modern state of Israel and the US, they had to rebel, because that proves that that's their god. Like Iran just proved that those countries worship Satan. That proves everything, because as soon as they did that, they got attacked. In case you didn't notice, that's what happened. Let's proceed.
They will fight to the death. All right, that's number one. Number two is this. Also that morning, when the Ayatollah was killed, they really struck a school in the south of Tehran, killing about 150 school children.
Right on brand. They have to sacrifice children to their god, Moloch. So the first thing they did is unalive children, and then they went for war. That was the sacrifice to their god, little g god. That's their god, guys. I mean, it's the truth. That's the god, small g god, to most humans. Some of them know it, some of them have no clue who they're worshiping. You know, in this new age, nature, crystals, I am my own God. Yeah, that's all not from God, the creator. That's something created by another entity.
These are girls in primary school. And again, there's a lot of debate and argument as to what happened. The Israelis said that, first of all, the school was next to a military base.
Of course. Isn't that what they always say? Hamas was using everything for human shields, so Iran was using children as human shields. Like, this is always their excuse. And they're like, oh, well, you know, the school next to it was Khamenei. Everything's with a kha. It's interesting, right?
Targeting the military base. And second of all, it wasn't us which struck the school. It was a air defense missile that went off course. Okay? And the Iranians insisted no. The Israelis purposefully attacked the school to kill the school children. And then you're like, why would the Israelis do that? But then these few years, well, we've seen what they've done in Gaza, in Palestine, to the Palestinians. And it's pretty consistent what the Israelis have been doing. All right? So this action against the Israelis, it's meant to show to themselves and the world that we are now all in. Okay? We've made the sacrifice. We are now committed to this war, to winning this war at all costs.
Yeah, sacrifice. This guy is aware. I was very surprised because I don't think he's religious. I don't think he belongs to any religion. He's just observing everything from the outside without being, you know, prejudiced or biased or whatever, which is very interesting to see.
And this action has also provoked the Iranian people to resist with their full might, okay? So I want you to keep this in mind. And again, we don't have complete evidence that it's the Israelis who did this.
Oh, man. We don't need to even try to learn about who and what in evidence. It's very clear, guys. This is what Israel does. Pray for Lebanon, guys. Pray for Lebanon. They are bombing the south of Lebanon and try to turn it to a Gaza. The resistance is more sophisticated in South Lebanon, Hezbollah, or as they say, Hezbollah. But still, they can't compete with the arms and the tanks and the planes of Israel, the military might that they have paid by our tax dollars and probably your tax dollars. So pray for Lebanon because the bombing is going further north and they just cleared like almost 500,000 people from south of Lebanon. So you have people sleeping in tents by the beach. I mean, it's like Gaza, guys. It's just like Gaza. They're doing the same thing. If people that are watching this, that have animosity, if they're Syrian against the Lebanese and the Lebanese versus the Palestinian, you're an idiot. You're a stupid goy. This is the time for us to unite. We are the same people anyways, regardless of religion. We have the same DNA. I'm Phoenician, I'm Lebanese, I'm Palestinian, I'm Canaanite, Canaanite. Bro, are you serious? They're trying to wipe us all out. I'm just talking about that region right now, and they try to wipe out everybody. But I'm talking about that region. Well, I'm Sunni. I don't like the Shia. They did this to us. We need to stop that thinking. We have a common enemy. So we can get rid of that enemy and coexist. Live together in peace, worshiping how we are pleasing God in our own way. That's what I believe in. I don't even want a Palestine and Lebanon and Syria. I want us all of us to be one nation. That's what I want. I want to be able to take a train or a bus from Jerusalem to Damascus, then to Beirut, then to Amman. That's what I want. I don't know what you want, but that's what I want. And I hope and I pray that one day in my lifetime, that will happen. It will happen. I just don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime. But you can't say that because that's anti-Semitic.
But given past actions from the Israelis, this is fairly consistent with what they've done. Okay, so we can assume that this is something the Israelis did. Why they did this, what the purpose is something we will discuss as we move on. Okay, it's very complicated. Next, I want to show you this. This is Dubai, and Dubai is considered one of the wealthiest, safest cities in the world.
Dubai is done, guys. Dubai is done. First of all, they don't have an army. Second of all, they do have American bases. Third of all, they have a strong relationship with Israel. Fourth of all, they were committing a genocide in Sudan. And fifth of all, there's a lot of foreigners there. I'm going to call them aliens because that's what they call us here, aliens. So now all the aliens left that were able to leave. So the economy is crashing in Dubai. And I'm glad it is because I don't support Dubai. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the lifestyle. Because they worship money. Everybody's like, come to Dubai, Habibi, come chocolate, Dubai chocolate. You know how much prostitution and slavery and theft from the rich, stealing the poor, bringing immigrants to work like slaves, child sex trafficking, woman sex trafficking. Yeah, it's a Muslim country. Oh no, that would never happen, bro. Did anybody do anything for the past 2 years about Gaza? These great Muslim Arab countries? Or these great Christian nations? Nobody has done anything. Some organizations try to help. I'm talking about like somebody who's running a nation, a country. Did they do anything? Only a few did, guys. And I can name probably one. It's called Yemen. That's the only one. We had resistance from Lebanon, but not as the government, as resistance. We had boycotts in Spain, Ireland, and other nations, and we're grateful, but they couldn't stop the genocide. That's the truth, guys. So, great job to all the Arab nations. We are very, very united. Yeah.
There are thousands, tens of thousands of Westerners who move to Dubai because it's clean, you don't pay any taxes, you make a lot of money.
Yeah. Come to Dubai, Habibi. I know people in Dubai. You know, it's okay. I'm not going to judge them. But it's superficial, guys. It's fake. It's fake. It's expensive. It's lavish. It's yachts. They're building. Dubai was a desert with tents, guys. What made Dubai is oil and gold. Digging oil and stealing gold from Sudan. Selling oil to America and Israel. That's what made Dubai. So everybody's like, why do you want to boycott Dubai? It's beautiful there. It's freedom. It's safe. You can have that without the intervention of United States of Israel. What Iran is doing single-handedly is decolonizing West Asia, as they call the Middle East. They're decolonizing it. But a lot of the Arab people are unaware because they're Shia, we're Sunni, we're Christian, we're Alawites, we're this, we're that. Stupid goyim. That's what we are. We are all stupid goyim.
And there are great restaurants. And this is really the economic model of Dubai. It's one of the GCC countries, okay? The Gulf coastal countries. And for the longest time, Dubai had a really good deal because they were under the protection of the American military. So they didn't have to pay for defense. And then they were in the Middle East, which is the oil producing center of the world. And so they focus on aviation, they focus on logistics, they focus on finance, on tourism. They became extremely wealthy, right? I'm not sure if you've taken Emirates, one of the best airlines in the world. So their airport, Dubai Airport, is the busiest in the world.
And now ain't nobody going in and out. Do you know how much that affects the economy there? And I start seeing all these videos of these foreigners, aliens in Dubai, posting this video about, oh, Dubai, you know, I feel safe because of whoever runs the government or the king or Satan, whoever runs that country. And they put all these videos and stuff, and I'm like, you're disgusting. They're so selfish. It's always about them, man. Colonialism. It's not about Dubai. It's about what they have going on in Dubai. This is the Western mentality at play. Colonialism. America's losing its mind because it wants to be the empire of the world, and it's losing its control and is going nuts. On top of that, it has Israel in its ear, whispering. So something is got to give.
And Dubai, for the longest time, was flourishing under American protection. And Dubai said to the world, listen, we're like Switzerland. We're neutral. We don't want any involvement in any wars. We're here just to take care of our citizens, to make sure everyone has a good time, to make money.
To make money. You can't serve two masters. It's either you serve God or you serve money. And the love of money is the roots of all evil. Not money, because money is just an object. The love of money. How many people are all about money? Think about the Gulf countries. They have a lot of money. They're rich. But there's a big gap, guys. Like Saudi Arabia. They have a lot of money. But then you have the super rich, and you have a lot of poor people there. You're not going to see on TV. Of course not. They're going to show you the rich people. You know, and I believe that the people who are running most of these nations are crypto Jews. Yeah, I said it. I think they're pretending to be Muslim, but they're not. I think closed doors, they're practicing the Talmud. That's what I think.
And then right after the war started, the Iranians attacked the GCC.
By the way, I'm talking about the people running that country, not the residents. So you don't get offended if you're watching this. No. People are people. I love the people. I'm talking about the people running those countries, just to be clear.
Okay? Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait.
All those countries that could care less about Palestine. Yeah. Let's see what's going to happen to them.
Attack these places. And these places were like, what's going on? We're neutral, man. We're not involved in this war.
No, they're not neutral. America was attacking Iran from there because that's where they have their fleets, their planes, their bases. So the first thing that Iran does, it's hitting those bases. Genius. Eliminating the presence of America from the region. Now America, when it has to ship its soldiers that are going to die for Israel, for God's chosen people, now they have to park somewhere else. Europe, probably India. So that's far. But because if you're closer, then you can infiltrate on foot. But now, how they're going to infiltrate? Oh, they're going to use the Kurds. So the Kurds are like always going for the highest bidder, from my understanding. And they're still dreaming of Kurdistan. And they will go fight for anybody. But I believe personally that a lot of Kurds are crypto Jews as well. That's what I think. Because they're always connected to Israel. And I believe that the Druze, a lot of them are crypto Jews as well. I don't even know the history of those people, but they exist. But in Palestine, they support Israel. They serve in the ITF, guys. And they're the meanest, rudest ones to us because they speak Arabic. But you ask them where you're from, they don't know what to say. It's very interesting, man.
And the airport was shut down in Dubai. At one point, the rich people in Dubai were willing to pay about 250,000 US dollars just to get on a plane and get out of there.
Yep. Well, they got the money. So now they're back in, they went back to where they came from. You better get back home, boy.
Okay? So, the reality is this. For the longest time, Dubai had a reputation for being safe, and that's why people moved their money there. Guess what, guys? After what the Iranians did, it's dead.
It's dead, guys. Come to Dubai, habibi. You know that Israelis were able to go to Dubai. Did you know that? And then the people that worked in the hotels complained after the Israelis checked out because they destroyed the hotel room. Those people are the most nastiest, privileged, dirtiest demons on this planet. Everywhere they go, they like to destroy and feel like they're special because they're God's chosen people. So they did the same in Dubai. The people hate them. I'm talking about the population. But the government, because they're licking the boot of Israel. That's why.
Dubai as a city, in the long term, it is dead. Because you're a wealthy Westerner, you're not going to move to a place where it could be attacked anytime by the Iranians. You might move to Singapore, you might move to Hong Kong, Japan, South America, but you're not moving to Dubai, okay?
And nobody's going to move to Israel. Everybody's leaving. Everybody is going away. And they're like, no, you need to come back because all the God's chosen people have to be in Israel so the Mashiach can come. So you can't leave. But they're leaving. So the plan ain't planning, guys. It's not working. So they have to do more. This is like, these people are trying everything to force God's hand. They just did not get the memo. They did not and will never get the memo. And the wrath of God is upon them. Let God's will be done.
So the big question for us is, why did the Iranians do this? It was the Israelis and the Americans who attacked you. Why go after the GCC? All right? And not only that, but they're escalating the attacks against the GCC. So this is something that we will look at very closely today. Well, the short answer is because these places, even though they pretend to be neutral, they house the American military.
Bam. Right there.
They allow the Israelis and the Americans to use their airspace to attack Iran from. All right? So this is Bahrain. Now, Bahrain is interesting, okay? Because I want you guys to remember this. But Bahrain will probably be one of the major centers of this conflict. Because, first of all, this is the American Fifth Fleet. All right? This is their naval base in the Middle East.
Naval base in Bahrain. Very important. Look at that. Look at that. Look what Iran did to that naval base. It turned it from a naval base to an anal base.
And as you can see, the Iranians are attacking it with missiles. And it's being blown up. Bahrain is interesting because it has about 50% or even more, okay, Shia, which
There's a lot of Shia there, by the way. But I believe that the government is Sunni.
is the religion of the Iranians. But the people in charge are the Sunnis. And so what makes this strike really important from our perspective is, first of all, not only are the Iranians attacking US military assets, not only are they destroying the economies of the GCC, but they're also trying to ignite a religious war, right? Because you're Shia, you're loyal to the Ayatollah. And if he's dead, then you must, as a religious obligation, now commit jihad against your enemies. And it's no different in other religions where, listen, if you want to kill the Pope, the Catholics would be really angry at you and they would want to kill you, right?
Very true. Very, very true. Because people are all about religion instead of people about God. Guys, I believe religion, as we know it, is man-made. for all those religious fanatics watching this, or maybe not. God did not bring 3 religions. Why would he want to do that? Abrahamic religions. Man created religion. You understand? I know it's hard pill to swallow. It's not about religion, man. It's about God. And you have your own walk with God. Whichever path you decide to take, it's up to you. I can tell you how the path of Jesus Christ worked for me and how much it has done for me. And it made me have light in the darkness. And how his Holy Spirit protects me and guides me and changed me, became a better person, stopped doing all the BS I was doing. So it worked for me. It can work for you, but maybe you're doing something else, which is fine. But it's not about religion, man. It's about God, spirituality, finding God, following a path. The book is a guide. All these books were written by men. The book did not come from the sky, guys. They're all written. Somebody wrote that. It's about the message. It's not about religion. We should put the religion on the side and coexist. Don't hurt me. I'm not here to hurt you. That's the word I want to live in. You can pray to God how you please, worship as you please. Just don't call me a goy, and we'll be fine.
So now you have the Shia who will probably eventually arise, creating a revolution in Bahrain, okay? So I think Bahrain will be the first to fall. Dubai will probably go bankrupt, okay? But in the long term, we can expect the entire GCC area, including Saudi Arabia, to eventually collapse, okay? And so this is something we'll use game theory to understand. All right, let's continue.
You know what's interesting? Well, that's happening in the Gulf states, and terrible things are happening in Lebanon. Syria is a weird place right now with Al-Qaeda member. Julani became Shara, and he's the president of Syria. Love him or not, he was a terrorist who chopped heads. Where's Egypt in all this? Egypt has a strong army, and they're supposed to be a Muslim nation. Of course, you have Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. It's a little bit further west. But Egypt is right there next to Israel. So where is Egypt in all this? Maybe Egypt's like, nah, we don't want to be part of this. But Egypt takes a lot of money from the United States. Second after Israel. If you didn't know, now you do. They take a lot of money from the US. You know, the canal, Suez Canal. Yeah, you know what that's used for? Weapons. There's a relationship between Egypt and Israel. Then you have Jordan, piece of poop. The King Abdullah, the Hashemite. What a traitor, man. Puppet. All these presidents or kings or whatever you want to call them, they're puppets. Puppets for the West and for Israel. So Iran is doing us all a favor. Love them or hate them. That's what they're doing. And once they're done cleaning up the Americans from the region, then they're going to pull their sleeves and go at it with Israel. By the way, I'm selling these now on the website, theoliverootspodcast.com. Bracelets in the colors of the flag of Palestine. $20, $10 for cost. Another $10 gets sent to Gaza. I know a lot of people in need in Gaza, and I try to help them or being able to survive myself. So everything counts. Go to theoliverootspodcast.com, or you can contribute to buy me a coffee. The link is in the first comment. It's pinned. All right, let's proceed.
So we will know how this war develops just based on geography, okay? So this is a map. And this map Even if you don't really know the war, even if you don't know the participants, even if you don't know the weaponry, this map will tell you exactly how this war will progress.
By the way, Iran is full of mountains. And the Iranian military has a whole world under, not in just tunnels, like under the mountains, they have another Iran. They're shooting rockets, guys, from under the mountain. Like you've seen the videos, right? The mountains are coming from under the rockets are coming from under the mountains. How the heck? What are you supposed to do? So now Israel and the US are only attacking what they can see. And you've seen the videos of Israel and the US throwing bombs on what they think are helicopters and tanks, but some of them were blow-up tanks or they were painted on the ground. So what cost on $5 with paint or a blow-up tank cost America and Israel millions of dollars with the bombs and the rockets they're dropping from their jets. It's the funniest thing in the world, man. It's the funniest thing in the world. I hope you've seen those videos. It's insane, man. They just painted what looks from the top, from the eagle view, like a chopper. And then they use the night vision, right? And it looks like a real chopper. And then they just throw a bomb and you can still see the figure is still fully intact. It's just so funny, man. I love it. I love it, man. It's like I was eating popcorn watching that, like I was watching Hamas with ITF in Gaza. I was eating a lot of popcorn then.
All right, so some certain things to keep in mind about this map. This is what we call this area, okay, really small, it's 33 kilometers wide, okay? People can swim across it. It's really, really narrow, okay? This small area, guys, it's called the Strait of Hormuz.
And right now, it's blocked. So expect your gas prices to go up and your products. Products like anything on the shelf. Food, produce, cleaning products. Everything, guys. Everything. America does not create anything except for weapons. That's what America is known for. If you're watching this somewhere else, your products gotta go through there. Oil, gas prices, bro. Just wait. This is only the beginning, guys. It's gonna get really bad. So I hope you're prepared. I hope you find Jesus.
All right? And it's important because it's really the center of the world. This one area is the nexus, the pivot of the world. Let me explain why. First of all, from the GCC, you have 20% of all the world's oil flowing through this narrow strait. Where does it go, guys? It goes to Asia, India, Pakistan, South Korea, China, Japan. India depends on 60% of its oil from this area. China depends on 40%. Japan, 75%.
See how important Iran is, the location? I mean, when you think about it, where Iran is located, massive. It's a huge country and very strategic location. It's very interesting.
Prime Minister Takaichi of Japan has said that, listen, if the Strait of Hormuz closes, we will run out of oil in about 8-9 months. The entire Japanese economy would collapse in 8-9 months.
Yep, it's probably quicker than that.
If the Strait of Hormuz were to close.
Remember when they went to Venezuela and took Maduro for the oil? Do you know how long it will take to purify the crude oil in Venezuela? Like 30 years, bro. So all that was just a stunt to look tough. And what did they do the first thing? They try to get Israel involved with that. Yeah.
And guess what? The Iranians have closed the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? So we can expect that the entire global economy will suffer greatly over the next few months. All right, so that's point number one. Point number two is, okay, so the GCC sends oil across the Strait of Hormuz, and what do they get back in return? Food, guys. All right, so
Food. Cans of good produce, beans, coffee. I mean, bro, you guys are about to see a world that you never saw before. I'm not trying to tell you this to scare you. The most repeated thing in the Bible is do not fear, for God is with you. Allah ma'ak, which is the name of Jesus. Allah ma'ak, Emmanuel. So do not fear, but be aware. Don't put your head in the sand and be like, well, it's not going to affect me. Like I met some people today in the coffee shop here in the US. Well, I don't think it's going to affect me. I still think Trump is doing a good job. Yeah, we have idiots like that still today.
people don't appreciate the GCC, but it is really the linchpin of the American empire. Because what is the American empire? The American empire is the petrodollar. All right? The idea of the petrodollar is this. The US dollar is worth nothing. It's only valuable if people want it. But the GCC says that if you want oil from us, you have to pay us in US dollars. Okay? Then that is the basis of the value of the US dollar.
Which is almost done. The US petrodollar is done. But remember, they're going to move to a digital currency. Yeah, you have BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, BRICS. But you also have Israel wants the digital currency so they can control your bank. They can see what's going in and out. Cash will be obsolete. And if you say something that is considered anti-Semitic, they will freeze your account or penalize you or whatever. That's why I wouldn't get a fully electric car, because they can control. So if you say something that is anti-Semitic, they will drive your car into another car or off the bridge. And here goes another stupid goy. Shabbat shalom.
So, if the GCC collapses, the American economy and the American empire both collapse at the same time.
Boom.
The problem, though, is the GCC is an artificial construct of empire.
100%. It's an illusion of an empire. If there is if US does not have anything interesting, like interested in anything there, the Gulf countries are just a show. They're just kind of like just exist. So while Iran is decolonizing West Asia, the Gulf countries are not happy because they depend on the US. But how long is that going to keep going for? We shall see. If anybody is from watching this that is from there, just tell us where you're from in the comments.
It does not exist naturally. Why? Because there's no food, there's no oil, no water. Okay, guys? No food, no water. So these cities are able to grow in the millions because of all these petrodollars flowing in. If you close off the Strait of Hormuz, there's no food coming in, right? They're all going to starve.
They're all going to starve. Gaza's coming to you. You are quiet, living your life. Gaza's coming to you. You reap what you sow. God is a just God. And the wrath of God is coming to everybody that did not help the people of Gaza, especially the children. That's what I believe. The wrath of God is coming to you. Great job.
How much food does the GCC get from overseas? 80%.
Wow.
80% of all the food it consumes comes from overseas, that it imports. It doesn't grow by itself, it imports.
Because it's a desert. The Gulf is a desert, guys. They build everything on sand. These people lived in tents. And now they're living in mansions and yachts and this. And so ironic. Oh man, when you put money before God, man, God is gonna smite you. He could care less how you look like, what's your religion, what's your gender, where you're from, how tall you are. He does not care.
All right? So the Strait of Hormuz is really key. And again, the Iranians will close it in order to strangle the global economy and therefore bankrupt the American empire. All right? Second thing you will notice is these mountains. These mountains is what we call Iran. All right, this is Iran.
Imagine if the US troops does a ground invasion. Really? Ground invasion in Iran? I hope that doesn't happen, man. There's going to be a lot of fallen soldiers.
This is GCC. Okay, this is not a fair matchup, right? Because these are mountains. And what can you do in mountains? Well, you can hide rocket bases. You can hide drone bases. You can hide missiles. And that's the entire Iranian offensive strategy.
100%. Even if the US and Israel decide to nuke Iran, you will kill the population and you have to drop a lot of nukes because it's a big country. Nothing will happen to the military because the military is on the mountains, so you can nuke it. I mean, that's not going to do anything for the other Iran down there. I hope that doesn't happen. Iran is very strategic. Iran is a very sensitive spot because the way it's attacking Israel is doing it in phases, not all at once, because it's trying to eliminate the threat of a nuclear bomb being dropped on it. Remember, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Iran doesn't want to be another Japan. So they have to be very strategic. It's a fine line, guys. Think about it. It's a fine line that they're standing on. Because if they do too much, they will get nuked. Nuclear bomb will drop on Iran. That's what America and Israel have. The might of the air. Man, if Iran had the same strength as those countries in the air, it'll be game over. But Iran has the rockets. Doesn't have the plane, the jet might. Okay? The Air Force. That's how America and Israel win wars, from air. Iran can't do that. But Iran can fight from under the mountains. And if it becomes like a war, like boots on the ground, oh, it's game over for Israel. Well, we already know Israel could not even take Hamas. But like for the US, man, it will be their graveyard.
All right? From here, they can hide missiles and drones from which to attack the GCC. And what are they attacking? They're attacking three things, right? They're attacking American military bases. American military bases.
Yep, decolonizing West Asia.
That's number one. Okay? Is it possible for the Americans to defend against these attacks? The answer is no. They're not. It's not. It's the silliest thing in the world. You have all these bases in the Middle East, but you cannot defend them against the Iranians. That's kind of strange. Okay, but that's number one. Number two is oil and energy. How hard is it to blow up an oil field with a drone? Not hard at all.
And Iran has, I don't know, millions of drones, guys. Iran has been planning for this war for a long time. And this is a tough war because the US is stronger than Iran military-wise. Technology, planes, number of people. But remember how far away the US is from Iran. So Iran has to send the soldiers with air, on sea, not on foot. They can't walk on water. They're not Jesus Christ. So it takes a lot of money that America does not even have because it's sending so much money to Israel. And now also Israel wants more rockets. I mean, they're running out of their Iron Dome. The Iron Dome that has been invisible lately. So yeah, this is not an easy war for America, even though America has the upper hand with military might. But Iran is ready. America is not. Israel always wants war, we know that. But America usually prepares itself. America got dragged into the war because of Epstein files. The blackmailing ring by the Epstein regime. Israel, the genocidal state. So they dragged Trump into this. And Trump is trying to act like they're winning, but they're not. They're killing people in Iran. They're destroying hospitals and schools, just like Israel did. But they're not winning the war. This is not Gaza. Iranian military is not Hamas. Not even a comparison, guys. Hamas is guys in flip-flops fighting. All they have is just their rifle and God. Iran has technology, surveillance. They have their own Mossad, intelligence, rockets, ballistic missiles. They have stuff that we probably haven't seen. And drones. I mean, we don't even know what they have and how much they have. So time will tell. But I pray for Iran, especially the people, guys. Yeah, you're rooting Iran, but think about all the people that are getting murdered, unalived, bombed, massacred, like in Gaza, South Lebanon, in Yemen. Pray for those people.
Can you defend these oil fields? No, you cannot. All right? Number 3, and this is most important, is water. Okay? You guys don't know this, but the GCC has little access to fresh water.
They're deserts. They're deserts.
So the only way that it can produce water is what we call desalination plants, okay? These factories that take salt water and then through electrical chemical process turn it into fresh water.
They take it from the sea, from the ocean, from the sea.
For the population to use. 60% of the water supply in the GCC comes from desalination plants, okay? 60%.
Wow, 60% of water that is used by the population, guys. And whatever you try to grow there.
Is it hard to blow up a desalination plant using a drone? The answer is, it's very easy. You understand? Okay? So you have this absurd situation where Iran is a mountain fortress where it can hide its offensive capacity, and the GCC, it's just this desert, this flat desert, and it is exposed to attack, and there's nothing it can do about it. Okay? So at any point in this war, the Iranians can choose to just destroy the entire GCC, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it.
They can destroy it in every way he mentioned, stopping the Hormuz, water supply, food, oil, everything that the Gulf depends on. Plus, Iran is up here on a mountain, the Gulf is down here. So they can see and they can just throw any rockets or drones or whatever. They don't even see them coming, guys. And they don't have the best militaries in the Gulf world. So that's true. So the Gulf world depends on the US for defense. But that means if they side with the US, they're siding with Israel. It's a tough place for them too, guys. What are they going to do? Well, we shall see.
Okay, but Iran also has a weakness, okay? And this is fundamental. So Iran also has a water problem, okay? So for the longest time, they suffered a drought issue. Okay, just climate change. And so what the plan of the Israelis and Americans is destroy the water supply of the Iranians.
Yep. That will be catastrophic to Iran. Yeah, 100%.
Because the fortress it is a mountain fortress, but it can also be a mountain prison as well, where people are trapped inside with no access to water. Okay, so what we're going to see right now, we're already seeing attacks on civilian infrastructure, hospitals. In the future, you'll see attacks on water supply.
Which might have already started. Anything is possible while I'm talking something to happen. I mean, Mahmoud is also reporting, always reporting on this. And as he's reporting, something else happens. It's just like nonstop, guys. This is a war. This is a war. This is not good, guys. And however you look at it, there's nothing good is going to come out of this. Maybe in the long run, way later, maybe not in our lifetime. But right now, and for the next couple of years, this is going to be tragic, man. And I pray this just stops, man. Like, we get some real peace. But you can't have peace with the synagogue of Satan.
On dams, on reservoirs, on power plants. The point, the idea is to make Iran so inhabitable that the people will have to rebel against the people, or there'll be a refugee crisis in Iran.
What they want to do, they want to turn the people against each other. That's what they do. Look what happened to Syria, Libya, Iraq. They try to do it in Gaza, but luckily people did not turn against each other. So Iran, man, millions of people, guys. Pray for Iran.
Okay? So as you can see from the...
When I say pray for Iran, I'm saying pray for the people of Iran. The human beings, the civilians. That's what I mean, the people.
This map, this war, it is the end of the world. Okay? Both sides have the potential to destroy each other. It's really a question of how far do they want to go.
So this might turn to Sunni versus Shia, and then Israel and America can just back away and watch the Goyim unalive each other. The sons of Ishmael, as they call it, Ishmaelites, Ismail. That's what they think about all Muslims. Because they can trace that, apparently. They don't know we're all mixed up with all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that will be destruction of Ishmaelites. But God's chosen people want the destruction of the Edomites, which they claim is the New Rome, America, the Western Christian world. So while the Muslims are destroying each other, then comes the Western fake Christians, and then all three destroy each other. Then Israel eating popcorn and celebrating in the bunkers will have their Messiah. I don't think it's going to play out like that. I think all the plans are going to crumble because God is the best of all planners.
All right? We can also say this is almost a game of chicken. Okay? We can blow each other up. How far do you want to go? And the problem is this. The problem is that the Iranians are Shia, which believes in martyrdom. And you've killed the religious leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei. So they're willing to go very, very far. The GCC countries are Muslim, but they're materialistic. They love money.
Yep. They're not willing to sacrifice their money. That is very true. This guy is like non-biased. I like it. These are the people that are worth watching because they're not supporting a specific place. They're just observing everything. And they don't belong to any denomination or religion. So they're just observing it, analyzing it. And so far, everything he said is on point. Nothing I disagree with or corrected. Just added more value to from my knowledge.
And also, most of the population are expatriates, foreigners. 90% of Dubai are foreigners. Guess what's going to happen if they suffer? They're all going to run away.
Yeah, which they already did. Come to Dubai, Habibi. You want to buy chocolate? We're going to Dubai from Israel. Not anymore.
Okay? So this is not a fair matchup. The big question that people have is, first of all, are the Americans going to use ground troops?
That will be their graveyard. Yeah, they're going to do some damage. But Iranian army, man, you have a lot of people that are reservists that will join. And then you have millions of people fighting against, I mean, how many soldiers America is going to bring in? 50,000, 100,000, 200,000? It's not enough. Then you're going to bring the tanks and all that. How are you going to get that in there? Like, invasion from the Kurds. That's not going to last too long, man. This is Iran. It's a big population. Decent sized army. And weaponry. It's not going to be a walk in the park. This is going to last for a long, long time, man. A lot of suffering for the population there. And death on all sides. American soldiers and Iranian soldiers for Israel. You think Israel is going to send soldiers there? Yeah. For the Goyim? Absolutely not. They will watch from there.
Because the only way that you can defeat Iran is by using ground troops, okay? That's a big question we will look at over the next few weeks. Will America send its army, 500,000, 2 million soldiers to topple the government? Okay, that's question number one. Question number two, nuclear weapons.
Yeah, that's the problem. Nuclear weapons, because if they feel like they're not going to win the war, America might nuke Iran. Or Israel might nuke Iran. Or both. And then if that happens, then Iran will have to nuke Israel. And if you guys know Albert Pike, the Freemason Illuminati, Albert Pike, in the 1870s, he predicted the 3 world wars. Well, they were not predicts, they were the plan, because they worship Satan. And that's the plan they made with him. And according to the plan, the vision from Lucifer, World War I went exactly as it was written in 1870, way before World War I. Also World War II, the establishment of the Zionist state of Israel and Palestine and all that, written in 1870, way before 1948, way before Herzl, the atheist homosexual. If you didn't know, now you do. And what did Albert Pike say about World War III? Zionism and the Islamic world will destroy one another. Zionism means America and Israel, not just Israel. But you can't destroy America because it's far, so what's going to get destroyed is Israel, alongside the Arab world, including Iran, which they're not Arabs, but you know what I mean. And the whole world will be split about what's happening there. There'll be a lot of turmoil and fighting and killing around the world. And people will lose hope, lose connection with their deity, their God, prophet, whatever. And then the Antichrist will come and, Lucifer is bringing his own light, morning star, angel of light, right? And people will think, who's that? Oh, here comes Jesus Christ. The Messiah is back. That's their plan. And we're seeing it slowly coming together. So wake up, Goyim. Wake up!
If you're losing a war, would you choose to use nuclear weapons? Okay, that's another big question that we have, okay? And another big question that we have is, who gets involved?
I mean, think about it. Really think about it without being emotional. It's all about Jesus Christ. It's all about Jesus. When you start talking about Jesus Christ, that's when you get into arguments. Because the demons hate his name. You can rebuke things in the name of Jesus Christ. He was able to cast demons out of people. Jesus Christ raised the dead. He walked on water. He healed the sick. He's done things no other person has done. So the God's chosen people think the Messiah did not come and they're going to have a Messiah. Actually, they're going to have two Messiahs. Mashiach ben Yosef, Messiah ben Joseph, the son of Joseph, and Mashiach ben David, the Messiah that is the son of David. So they have two Messiahs. And some of them believe that this Mashiach ben David, Dawood, is Trump. Yeah. Now the Mashiach ben Yosef, the Messiah that's the son of Joseph, they don't know which one that is. Then you look at Christians, we're waiting for Jesus' second coming. And then that's it. There's only one Messiah. One person we're waiting for. Ignore the Antichrist, because that's not a Messiah, that's demon. Muslims are waiting for Al-Mahdi and Jesus. And of course, there's the Antichrist. So Jews are waiting for two people. Muslims are waiting for two people. Christians are waiting for one person. It's an observation. Everybody's waiting for a Messiah figure. We know as Christians Jesus Christ. Muslims know that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, but they're more focused, some of them at least, on the Al-Mahdi. Al-Mahdi al-Muntadhar, the awaited Al-Mahdi, the ones who's sent, and he's a human being. While the God's chosen people are waiting for two Messiahs. And we, the Christians, are waiting for Jesus Christ alone. So you can see there's going to be a lot of confusion of who's who. And when you start reading the descriptions of all these people that everybody's waiting for, they're opposite. Because in Christianity, you have Jesus, the Antichrist, and the false prophet. But we're waiting for Jesus. We're not waiting for the other ones. They're going to come. So you have those three. And then with Muslims, you have Al-Mahdi, Jesus, and the Antichrist. So those are three. Then for God's chosen people, you have Messiah number one, Messiah number two. And I don't know if they believe in something called the Antichrist because their Messiah is the Antichrist. But so now we have a problem with the Christians and the Muslims. They have two figures and one bad guy. We have one good figure and two bad guys. What's going on? Would God do that? I mean, the only person who can save us is Jesus. He's the one who's going to eliminate the Antichrist with one blow, a breath. Like that, done. It's worth talking about, guys. Just an observation. So think about that. It's very confusing what's going to happen. So pray and seek Christ because he is the Savior.
Because this situation is so dire that Europe, okay, specifically Germany, France, and Britain are
colonial countries that invaded the rest of the world for the most part. Germany had the Austrian painter. A lot of people miss him, if you know what I'm saying.
talking about entering this war. And guess what? If that happens, it is possible that Russia and China will also enter this war on the side of the Iranians.
So if Europe, NATO, well, Germany, France, and UK join Israel and the United States on Iran, then you have Russia and China join Iran. God knows what North Korea is going to do, Kim Jong-un. That's why nobody messes with him, because he has nuclear weapons. That's an independent country. That's a sovereign nation, whether you like him or not. Nobody messes with North Korea. He's gangster. But doesn't mean I support him, but he's gangster. So if that happens, I mean, who's your money on? It's the West versus the East, regardless of religion. Because China is Buddhist, Russia is Orthodox Christian, Middle East is mostly Muslim. So you have a 3 different things happening there: Buddhist, Christian, and Muslim versus Zionism. It is Zionism, because don't call the US Christian, please. Please stop that nonsense. And don't call Europe. Come on, man. Eastern Europe's Christian, yeah. The Europe we have right now, UK, France, and that is not Christianity. Maybe Poland is Christian, yeah. And you have the Eastern ones. But no, not Europe and the US. These are Zionist entities, especially the UK. So who's your money on? Logically speaking, don't get emotional. Who's going to win? The West versus the East. Who's your money on? Well, we're all going to get destroyed. The people, I'm talking about us. We're going to get destroyed. And America's not untouchable. America's next to Russia and China. You understand? So now America's going to be busy with Russia and China. And Iran will be busy with Israel and Europe. That's what will happen. Everybody's involved. Everybody's involved. We all die, guys, because they're going to nuke each other. Pray for peace, guys. Blessed are the peacemakers. They'll be called the children of God.
World War III, okay? Because of the importance of the Strait of Hormuz, because of the importance of the Middle East, everyone has to get involved at some point. And we're going to use game theory to really try to understand what's happening on the ground and where this could lead us. Okay? All right. You guys understand?
And like the way we think things are going to go down according to scripture, whether it's your scripture or my scripture, it's not going to go like you think, because God speaks in symbolic ways. Not everything is to be taken literal. Like the beast of the earth doesn't mean it's going to be a monster coming off the earth. Or Dabbat al-Ard doesn't mean there's going to be this beast that's going to speak. Bro, this is not a sci-fi movie. Gog and Magog are not aliens. They're nations. And it might have already been fulfilled. But we're like, oh, it's still to come. Well, we don't know, bro. Nobody knows. If you think you know, you're lying to yourself. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. And whoever tells you, I know, is a liar. And that's the devil. He's the father of all lies. Nobody knows what is going to happen. That's the truth. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I pray for peace. You might look at the Bible or the Quran or whatever, or the Talmud or whatever you're looking at and say, oh, this is what... No. You have no idea. Because even God talks in symbolism. Why would he give us the whole equation? Then what's the point? Here's what's going to happen. Enjoy, have fun. No, signs and symbols, and still you might be off. The Antichrist, it's going to be person, he's going to come. You don't know that. What if it's a system? Yeah, he's going to get in the temple. What if we're the temple, the body? We don't know, man. We have no idea. What if it's artificial intelligence? What if it's all spiritual that we can't see with our own eyes? It's a spiritual battle which exists. and everything is done in the spiritual realm, and we're here like panicking. We don't know, man. And whoever tells you, no, I got to figure it out, that's exactly what's going to happen, you're going to be disappointed. When was the last time you predicted everything that was going to happen tomorrow? The Zionists are fighting Old Testament wars that are done. Everything is done. The destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD is most of that, in my opinion. We have no idea what's going to happen. Jesus comes like a thief at night. Like, just like that. Oh, the rapture and this. You have no idea what's going to happen. Oh, it's Trump, it's Kushner, it's this. No, he's going to be Muslim, he's going to be Christian, he's going to be Jewish. We don't know. You're speculating. You're guessing. You're guessing. Tomorrow's not promised, guys. Love your neighbor. Pray for your enemy. Life is short. We're close to the end. Maybe not. But it's getting really weird. And the devil wants to divide and conquer. God wants to unite and multiply. You might probably be fighting in the comments right now, but I'm right, you're wrong. Oh no, Jesus is just a prophet. No, Jesus is God. You're entitled to your opinion. You don't have to kill me. I don't have to kill you. We can coexist. Agree, disagree. Just don't call me a goy.
All right, let's continue. Okay, so again, there are American bases all over the Middle East. And originally, these bases were established to protect them from basically their own people. Okay, these are monarchies that were imposed on these nations by the Anglo-American Empire, the British first, and then the Americans came to support these monarchies.
So let's see, I'm gonna zoom in on this. So you see these dots on the map. These are US controlled base in operation for at least 15 years. It's a little blurry, so I have to try to understand what is written. Thought I'm losing my vision. So look at all these bases, American bases, guys. They have bases. Look at the bases in Kuwait, guys. Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Oman. Then they have one in Iraq. Two in Iraq. I mean, they're everywhere, guys. They are everywhere. So Iran just destroyed them. So now the US is, do you know how much money was poured into those bases? Billions over time. Billions. And in drones and expired rockets, Iran, it's like the first 48 hours, bro. And then the Arab countries, why are you bombing us? This is not good. What are you doing? Iran's like, you're hosting the US that is bombing us. Oh no. Yeah. What are you doing?
And so they provide defense. But then you're like, wait a minute here. I mean, didn't we just say that these American bases can actually defend these people, that they're exposed? And the answer is yes, that's true. But remember that the American military was built during the Cold War. Okay? And the Cold War was a war between the Soviet Union and America. And so the Cold War was defined as something called MAD, mutually assured destruction.
Soviet Union. Communism. Guess where communism comes from? Let me see in the comments if you know. Where does communism come from? Which group of people does communism come from? Do you know? God's chosen people. You heard about the Bolshevik Revolution? where they killed 80 million Christians, 20 million Muslims, burned 50,000 churches, 10,000 mosques, the Bolshevik Revolution. And then they went to Germany, which was a booming economy, and they wanted to do the same. Then the Austrian painter came and cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. That's what happened. Then the US came and fought. But who really won? Fascism or communism or a combination? Did God's chosen people move to Palestine? Or were those the Austrian painters' army or a combination? Operation Paperclip, some of Austrian painters' army moved to the US, Argentina. But now Israel is burning the forest, Patagonia, in Argentina because they have to have an escape plan. If things don't work out and their Mashiach, Messiah, doesn't come, or both their Messiahs, apparently, then there's an escape route. Maybe Ukraine, maybe Argentina. Either here or here. Ay, 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 ay. Because soon it's going to be 110 countries that these people get kicked out of. Maybe 111, including the US and Palestine. They already have an escape plan, guys. Did you know that? They have an escape plan. Remember when they wanted to build the Zionist state, Argentina was an option, Madagascar in Africa, I think maybe Uganda, I think Japan too. And if you didn't know, there's a character in the Japanese folk that looks like God's chosen people, and he's a monster there. Forgot his name, but you should look him up. He has the cube here, and he has a very distinctive nose. They've been everywhere, these people, man. Everywhere. But their time is coming to an end because Jesus is anti-Semitic.
Because both had nuclear weapons, okay? So they didn't really go to war against each other. And so in other words, these bases aren't really meant to defend these nations from other enemies. They're really meant to impose American authority in the Middle East, okay? And it's the idea of this. It's the idea that empire, it is really a image. It is a hallucination. It's just
Yeah, American Empire. Roman Empire. Yeah, they're strong, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So we're seeing the collapse of one of the biggest empires too, United States of America, sadly. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Collapsing, thanks to Israel.
an idea. Empire is it's an aura of invincibility and invincibility, okay? If you fear it, then you obey it. But it's not really designed to fight a war, okay? And so that's why we have this absurd situation. And because there are so many bases in the GCC, that gives the Iranians the perfect pretext to attack them in order to destroy the GCC economy, which will destroy the American empire.
100%. Remove the US, clean it out from the region. But also, devil's advocate. Maybe that's Israel's plan for the greater Israel, because also America's in the way. So you get rid of America, now Israel, America and Iran destroy each other. Well, America's far away, but you know what I'm saying, American bases. That's how you destroy America in the so-called Middle East, the American bases in the Gulf. So now while Iran is wiping that out, America's destroying Iran over time. Total destruction. So now Israel is America free. And Iran is the only resistance gone. Here goes Hezbollah, Hamas, however other resistance you have in Iraq and whatnot. Houthis. So now Israel is the mightiest country in that region. So now they can squeeze, broaden their shoulders, but there will be the next enemy, which they're already talking about. Turkey. Turkey. I don't like, the Turkish Empire. They're very nationalistic. The Ottomans have done a lot of damage to Muslims and non-Muslims. So the Turkish Empire wants to go back to the Ottoman Empire. So while you have the Greater Israel, you're going to have the Greater Turkey. And if you learn about the Donme, the crypto Jews that are supposedly Muslim in Turkey, I'm going to make an episode about the Donme. D-O-N-M-E. Donme. Check it out. Google it. So I don't know if the president or whatever he is of Turkey, I don't know if he's Donme or not, but one day we'll find out. But that's who's next.
Right? All right, so this is how the war is shipping out, okay? So the red is the Israelis and the Americans. The yellow are the Iranians. And as you can see, the Iranians are attacking everywhere. Primarily Israel.
Yep, but very slowly. They're not trying to get nuked because Israel is insane. You already know that. If you didn't know about the Samson option, if Israel fears that it's going to not exist, it's going to nuke everybody. Remember Samson in the Bible? علي وعلى أعدائي, on me and my enemies. Ah! Everybody died, including himself. He went jihad. Yeah, that's what Israel wants to do, go jihad.
Okay? But
talking about only Muslims want to go jihad. What did the Crusades do? Jihad. In the name of Christianity. In the name of Jesus Christ. Jihad for Jesus. Yeah, I'm against any kind of jihad for any religion. God doesn't create people to die. If you want to go, strap yourself with bombs and yell God is great and kill yourself, or Christ is king and kill, no. You're not going to heaven. God gives you life, and life is very precious. Life is very precious. Every life matters to God, including you, no matter how messed up you think you are. God loves you, and He has a plan for you. Remember that.
Also, as you can see, a lot of focus on Bahrain and Qatar. And again, the intention is to destabilize the economy and the government. Okay, it's to try to get as much instability as possible. All right? Okay, and as you can see, the Americans and Israelis are focused on Tehran. And so the Americans and the Israelis use something we call shock and awe. And the very idea of shock and awe is you decapitate the enemy. You cut off the head, the body will fall down. Okay? The problem, though, is, again, the Iranians see this as a religious war. And so the Iranians have announced total war. Okay? And so what this means is that right now, command and control in Iran is decentralized. There's no one person telling everyone what to do. Every region has its own orders, has its own strategy.
It's kind of like it was divided to multiple different states because it's a big country. So imagine how the United States of America is multiple states to create the USA. Iran is functioning the same way right now. Very smart, man. Very smart way of fighting.
And so if you knock out Tehran, everyone else keeps on going. So if you take off the head, it doesn't change anything. Okay? But unfortunately, the Israelis and the Americans use this as a military doctrine. Military doctrine just means how you design your military for what purpose. And so even though the Americans seem like an invincible army, they are not equipped to fight a 21st century war against drones, against desalination, against religious fanatics.
Yeah. Those days of fighting wars like they did back in the day, they're over, man. When was the last time the US have won a war?
Okay, they're just not.
I mean, Israel could not win in Gaza. Yeah, it destroyed Gaza. That doesn't mean it won the war. Hamas is still there. We've seen how much damage Hamas has done with. You saw the weapons they had. The fifth strongest military in the world, supposedly Israel, could not beat Hamas. A group of 20,000, maybe 30,000 soldiers. But apparently half the million of people in Gaza were all Hamas, including the newborn children. Because maybe later they will come like Hamas because we can predict the future. We don't know who's the Mashiach, but we can predict that this kid is going to become Hamas and he's going to kill all the chosen ones. Yeah, okay. We're predicting now what people are going to do. That's the world we want to live in. Oh, let's arrest this guy because he looks like he might rob a bank. Did he do it? No. Did he have a record of that? No, but he looks like it. We can sense it. It's retarded.
All right. But unfortunately, because of military doctrine, they're going to keep on attacking Tehran. Now, the great irony of all this is that the Iranians who will be most supportive of you, of regime change, are actually in the cities because they are educated, they're progressive. The people who are most fundamentally against you, will fight you to the death, are religious fanatics, the Shia militants, living in the rural areas. Okay?
Think about it. Yeah, if a war happens in America, most of the city people are like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And who's going to find the war? These rednecks. And the gangs. And the hood. So the country boys and the hood people. And probably the Mexicans. That's who will fight if something happens here. If we get invaded by somebody and we got to defend this country. You're going to have the rural people. So that makes sense. The people in Tehran, they're more open, more city people, liberal in a way, you know what I mean? But then the ones that are like, my country, my God, Jesus Trump, those are the people, the fanatics. They're going to fight, you know? So that makes perfect sense.
So this is a really silly thing where you are actually destroying those who will most likely support you, and you're leaving alone those who are most likely to commit jihad against you. All right? Any questions so far, guys?
Allahu Akbar!
Are you clear? All right. So another idea that I want you guys to understand is the idea of asymmetry. Asymmetry. All right. So what is asymmetry? Asymmetry means that the two sides are choosing to fight different wars using different techniques because one is much stronger than the other, okay?
America, baby. Yeah, boy.
America is a great empire. It has unlimited resources. It has the USD. It controls the world, right? Iran is a country that has been under economic sanctions for the past 45 years. It's poor. Its technology is very limited, okay? But as we learn in this class, actually, those nations that are poor actually have more energy. They're more open.
Underdog. They got nothing to lose, man. They're like, you know what? F it, bro. Come at me. I mean, how are you going to fight someone that he's like, I don't even care about dying? I kill you and me. What do you want to do? You want to kill me? I kill you. I kill me. I kill everyone. You know, like, yeah. I don't know. I mean, how are you going to fight that fight? And these kids, man, they're sending 18, 19, 20-year-old American kids. Grew up on TikTok. Here's a rifle. Go fight for your country. Die for Israel. It's sad, man. Every way you look at it, like it's disgusting. It's sad. If the people are supporting the killing of these American kids, man, like I'm against that too. These kids, man, they don't even know what they're doing. They're thinking they're fighting for their country, and then they get shipped over there and they're in the ground. They're like, what am I doing here? These people I don't know nothing about. I don't know their language. I don't even know what's happening. Next thing you know, you get shot in the head for something that you have no idea. You thought you're fighting for your country, then you got shipped to a jungle in Vietnam or to the mountains of Iran. Like, war is ugly, man. Disgusting. People, the stuff we create, man. Weapons and drones and just anything to kill each other. Who created the first weapon? That's what I want to know. We're talking about way back. Who created the first weapon?
And they're more cohesive. All right, so let me give an example. This is what we call the Jihad drones. Jihad drones. Each of these drones costs $50,000 at most, okay?
$50,000 a drone. Peanuts. Not to me, but to them. Peanuts. $50,000. That's a car, man. Decent car. So that's a drone to Iran.
At most. It can go as cheap as $35,000 US. But one of them is $50,000. As you can see, you can fit a lot of these drones to a truck that can go anywhere in Iran. And they can hide anywhere. All right? So the thing to understand is, first of all, these drones are cheap. They're easy to make. They make about 500 a day. Okay? And estimates are about there's 80,000 right now that the Iranians have.
Woo! 80,000 of those, man. Dang. That's a lot.
So they can go on for a long, long time. Okay, and one of these drones, again, can knock out a desalination plant. It can knock out an oil field. It can knock out a hotel. It can do a lot of damage. Okay, and it's easily transportable. You can hide it anywhere. You can use it from anywhere. Okay, and that's what the Iranians are using as an offensive weapon. And how do the Americans defend against this? They use something called a FAD, right? Right, guys, this is what they use. FAD. FAD stands for Thermal High Altitude Air Defense. And they also have like Patriot systems. There's a lot, okay?
The Iron Dome is not working. Oh no, go to the bunker, hide. And dance for the Mashiach. You know, the wall of Satan, aka Wailing Wall, is empty right now. It's empty. I thought you're God's chosen people. What happened? Why are you hiding? I thought God is with you.
The thing that you need to know about the system is it's really expensive. This missile, guys, costs $1 million.
$1 million. $50,000 drone versus $1 million rocket. Wow. Crazy, huh?
$1 million. So there's this $50,000 drone coming your way, and you throw a $1 million missile at it, okay? And often these missiles miss, so you have to throw 2 or 3 missiles at it, okay?
Woo! It goes 3, 4. Ching, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Oh no!
Okay? So you're spending $2 to $3 million on each $50,000 that the Iranians spend.
And if a drone hits that thing, then here goes, how many? Maybe 10 on there? 12? $12 million gone. Yo.
That's kind of silly.
Drones, man. Drones changed the game. Drones changed the game.
Second thing you'll notice is that this thing is really big and really slow. And therefore, you can't really move it around. Therefore, it's pretty easy for the Iranians to spot where this is and attack it. And then when these things blow up, that's a lot of money, guys. Okay? Then you're like, what? But this makes no sense. You know the Iranians have drones. They've had drones for like 10 years. You've also seen drones used in the Russia-Ukraine war to devastating effect. Why don't the Americans know this? Why did they prepare? Okay, and again, it has to do with military doctrine. Because military doctrine determines how you fight a war, it determines on your bureaucracy, and it determines how you spend your resources, okay? And unfortunately, the Americans are used to fighting something called the Cold War, right? And the Cold War, because you can actually fight the war, you can actually use, kill each other because then people use nuclear weapons. The Cold War was about flexing.
Let me flex on them, boys. Let me flex, boy.
Flexing, okay? You see how big and powerful I am?
Yeah, come on now. Come on, baby. Flex on these.
Me! Okay? That's all it was. These weapon systems are designed to scare the crap out of you.
That's very true. Look what I got. What you gonna do? I smoke you. Yeah, intimidation.
They are designed to impress you. And as a result, they cost a lot of money, and they really don't do anything, all right? So that's the entire American military. It costs a lot, and it doesn't really do anything. And it's not resilient. It's not innovative. It's not open, all right? Also, the other thing I have to say this, okay, is if you look at the American military, it's corrupt. So this is really about corruption. So the Americans don't really care about winning a war. What they care about is spending as much money as possible because then they get a cut. It doesn't make sense. All right, and that's why the Americans are in the situation as they are. All right, let's continue.
This guy is just on point, guys. He's not looking at it from a religious way, which is genius. Because we both know this has nothing to do with religion. They're trying to make it about religion. It has nothing to do with religion. It's domination. Who's going to dominate? Greed. Money, land, destruction. So I like how this guy thinks.
All right. So something that people don't really talk about, but you need to understand, it's the water issue in the GCC, in the Middle East, in Iran. All right. So this is a map of the world. And if you are light blue, Brazil, Canada, you have nothing to worry about because you have a lot of water, a lot of fresh water, very little population. All right? So 100% just means 100% water stress just means that you drink as much water as the environment produces. Okay? So you want to be below 100% to be sustainable. Ideally, you want to be at 10%, okay? If it goes above 100%, it means that you are drinking more water, using more water than the environment actually produces.
Which is probably most of the Middle East. Guys, it's a desert for the most part. That's why we have long eyelashes. The sand. We are sand people. What are you talking about? That's why we're brown. We can get dark and dark and dark until a certain time. Then, you know, some things, bad things happen. So, yeah. Arabian desert. All right. And by the way, this guy lives in Canada. He's Canadian. Canadian Chinese.
Okay, so you're putting stress on the environment. So 20% is really bad, right? Because you're using twice as much water as the environment produces. Guess what, guys? Look at the Middle East, okay? Egypt. 6,420%.
Let me zoom in on this. All right, let's see. Wow. Yeah, man. Egypt. Whew, it's hot there too, man. Libya, 817. Algeria, 87. Mauritania, Sudan, wow, 673. But wow, Egypt is up there, bro. Saudi Arabia, 883. Iran is 72. Yeah. What about God's chosen people? Oh, no, I can't read. It's too small. Let's proceed.
Saudi Arabia, 883%.
Wow.
All right? Bahrain, almost 4,000%. Dubai, 17,000%.
Wow. No water for you. You become very thirsty. You want to make Gaza thirsty? You're thirsty. Come to Dubai, Habibi. We don't have water.
All right? So water is a huge issue. Again, it doesn't matter if Iran kills American soldiers, destroys American military. It doesn't have to do that. All it has to do is destroy the desalination plants. And then the GCC is destroyed, okay?
Wow, man. I mean, that would be catastrophic. Can you imagine, man? Millions of people living there. They don't have water. You know, people think, oh, well, they live by the Mediterranean Sea. Or that's not how you get water. You don't just drink straight from the sea. Ask the people in Gaza. You will get annihilated drinking seawater without purifying it. It will destroy you. We're not made to drink that. Even though they like to think we're goyim and cattle, we're humans. That does not work. Stupid goyim.
But it's also true that Iran has water issues. 72% is pretty bad. Okay? So even though the Iranians could destroy the GCC much faster than the Americans could destroy Iran, Iran is still in trouble, okay? So let me give you an example of this. This is like, so this is another map that shows you the issue of water scarcity, okay? And it's just basically the Middle East, okay? Their biggest issue in the future is water.
Wow. Look at that. I'm going to zoom in on this. See, most of the other countries are light blue, darker blue, and you got South Africa a little bit, you know, on the pink side. You have India on the east, you know. You have Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. I think that's Spain over there. But yeah, look at the darkest ones are Libya, Egypt, the Gulf countries, Iraq, Syria, Palestine, Lebanon. Very interesting, right? People don't think about these things. And the importance of water. No water for you.
Okay, and that's where the geopolitical tensions will arise in the future over water. India is also affected as well, okay? All right. All right.
India, no water for you. Modi, you will die too.
So, let's look at the map, guys. This is called Lake Urmia in northern Iran. It's the 6th largest saltwater lake in the world, or it used to be. Okay, this is what it was in 1984. This is the shallow, this is the deep, okay? You guys see that? It's really big, right? 20 years later, guys,
Oh, wow.
this is what it looks like.
Wow, drying up. Whew. Climate change. Oh no.
There's no more water here. You can walk from here over to there, okay? There's some water over here, but it's shallow now. That's how serious the water issue is in Iran. And that's the weak point that the Americans and the Israelis will attack. All right? They want to make sure that Iran has no access to fresh water.
So what, the population of Iran is what? 10 million people? Let me see. Oh, 90 million people. Woo! Okay, 90 million people. I missed the zero, like 100 million people. So you want to deprive 100 million people from water, and that's how you save the people of Iran? That's how you bring democracy to the women of Iran, because the regime is oppressive for the headscarf. So you just destroy the water to free Iran. Yeah. Democracy is coming, guys. Democracy is on the way.
Which will cause devastation in their nation. Okay, that's strategy number one. Strategy number two is this. This is a map of the different ethnic minorities in Iran.
Let's see. I want to zoom in on this and see if I can see. Khorasan. So according to Islamic eschatology, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Antichrist will come out of Khorasan with, I think, 70,000 God's chosen people's army. I think that's correct. That's what it says in the eschatology of Islam, according to my knowledge. So you have Khorasan, Yazid, Kerman, I mean, that's so many different groups, bro. Oh no! What is happening? Okay, let's proceed.
As you can see, it's a very diverse place. In the center are the Persians, but you also have...
I'm not Iranian, I'm Persian. How many times have you heard that this past 2 weeks? I'm not Iranian, I'm Persian. Look at my nose, I'm Persian. No, you are Jews. You are God's chosen people. You're not fooling me with that schnaz. Reza Pahlavi with the biggest nose I've seen. That thing look like a pear about to fall off. The Shah of Iran, of Persia. This is a war between the Israel and Persia. Get out of here, bro.
10 other groups as well. And in the borderlands, it's basically a different country, right? Like, these are basically different countries. And so these places have more common areas with their neighbors than they do with Iran. Okay, so the second weakness of Iran. The first is the water. The second is the ethnic makeup of the country. So the strategy of the Americans and the Israelis moving forward...
Division. And then it will be like a vacuum, and then you'll get Shia ISIS. Yeah, that's what the West does. Create extremists. Because we don't want peace with terrorists, even though we are terrorists, but nobody knows. Because we change history every 100 years. Because we get caught every time. Oh no, time to move again.
Is destroy Iran as a coherent nation state, divided into ethnic enclaves, and have them fight over water. That is the grand plan of the Israelis and the Americans, okay? All right, this is the vision, where Persia is limited, and then all these other places are sponsored by the Americans and the Israelis. They're given money, they're given weapons, they're given political support, and then this war will wage over water forever, okay? And this is how you destroy Iran and make sure Iran is no longer a viable threat to you. That is the plan of the Americans.
So who's gonna attack whose water first? That is the question.
Okay. As you can see, it's a pretty evil plan. And that's why they have not announced it.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's pretty evil. That's pretty evil.
Right? Because if you announce it, you're like, why are you doing this? What did the Persians, what did the Iranians ever do to you to warrant you coming destroying their civilization?
Because of Israel. The greater Israel, from the Nile to the Euphrates. Iran is in the way. You got to go. Persian.
The answer is nothing. Right? So the Americans and Israelis will never admit they're doing this. But if you look at the map of water supply, of ethnic tensions, this is the optimal game theory strategy for them to use against Iran. Okay, does that make sense? This is a long-term plan that they have in place. And it's all moving towards this plan.
I'm sure, they already attacked some water areas in Iran. They also attacked the airport. They attacked some oil refineries. Obviously, on top of it, hospitals, schools, typical Zionist attacks. So yeah, this is on point, man. He said that like last week. That's crazy. This guy's on point, yo.
But Now the question then is, how can the Iranians respond to this? And the answer is
Jihad, Allahu Akbar.
this. This is a map of the Muslim world.
The Muslim world. That's what the plan for the Zionist regime is, to go to war against all these green countries for the Gog and Magog, the Armageddon, Malhama, end of times, where Ishmael and Esau will fight for God's chosen people. So all these Muslim nations, even, northwest of India, you see by his shoulder. So all these areas, dark green is Shia, light green is Sunni, all Muslim to me, could not stop little tiny Israel from committing a genocide in Gaza that is predominantly Muslim with some Christians like myself. What is the Muslim world and the Arab world? Some of them are not Arabs, but you know what I mean. What are they doing? What happened? What's going on here? Why is nobody doing anything? What happened to Islam? What happened to Muslims? What happened to the Arabs? What happened to us? Disgusting. Disgusting.
Okay? So the light green are the Sunni people, okay? That's 90% of the...
So I'm going to take a bathroom break and come back here. So if you guys want to go grab a water or something, I didn't know this was this long, but well, I committed, so I will be right back. All right, I'm back, guys. My mic was on mute. When nature calls, nature calls. I've been drinking a lot of water and pouring more with my jug, so it was time to empty the tank. All right, hopefully everybody can hear me and see me. Let us proceed.
The entire Muslim population, about 2 billion people, okay? Then you have in dark green, the Shia. So as you can see, the main place of the Shia is Iran, okay? Iran is one of the few Shia nations in the world. But you can also see from this map that Shia are spread throughout the world. Okay? And so the first thing that the Iranians want to do is create a jihad to unite all the Shia against the American empire.
So the Shia might be 15% of Muslims. My guess here, guesstimating based on this picture. It's a minority when you think about it. And it's interesting because they're the ones that mostly were resisting Israel. While the Sunni were watching, eating popcorn, talking, not doing anything. I think the only ones that were Sunni are Hamas, Hezbollah, Shia, Houthis, Shia. Yeah, Hamas is the only one who's Sunni because they're Palestinians. You know? All right, let's proceed.
All right, so what they want to do is create an uprising. And it's already happening, guys. The Shia in Pakistan stormed the American embassy in Pakistan, and the Americans killed a lot of people, okay? The Shia have attacked the American embassy in Iraq. The American embassy are being attacked in a lot of places.
And what are the Sunni doing? Nothing. We don't like the Shia, they're not Muslims. Stupid goyim.
Right? So the first strategy is to create an international global jihad of the Shia against the American empire. And it's already happening. It will continue for a long time because the Americans have killed the Khamenei. Okay? And that requires vengeance. The other thing, though, is that it can unify the Muslim world.
This will end up soon, guys. Then we can go to questions. So don't leave too early because I would love to get some questions from you and just engage with my audience because that's important to me as well. I've been seeing some of your comments, but I'm trying to focus on this man's lecture because he's on point. And I hope you're learning a lot of things watching this and hearing me commentate. Hopefully it's bringing some value to you. It's a long one, so hopefully you're still with me.
Okay? If you look at this map, most of the Muslim world is actually run by dictatorships that are not popular at all, okay? And they're allowed to exist because of the American empire, right? You go to Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Algeria, these places, they're all run by clients of the American empire, right? So if you rally the people who hate their governments and you overthrow them, then that makes Iran the leader of the Islamic world. Not just the Shia world, but the Islamic world. And this creates something called Pax Islamica.
Pax Islamica versus Pax Judaica. That's an interesting way to look at it. I don't know. We'll see when the Ummah, as they call it, the Sunni Muslims, the Muslims, period, the Ummah of Islam, if it's going to wake up and hopefully realize who the enemy is. You know? We are not the enemy, guys, Ahl al-Kitab. Spare us.
That is the end goal, guys. Okay? If you do that, then you don't have to worry about the Americans and the Israelis anymore. Right? So the Israeli game plan, the American game plan, is to fracture Iran into ethnic enclaves, and they'll fight over water for the rest of their lives, and they'll all die. The Iranian game plan is to create a religious war, a crusade, that unifies the Shia people, that overthrows the American empire and establishes something called the Pax Islamica.
It's interesting. Albert Pikes. Zionism versus the Islamic world. We're seeing this, guys. We are seeing this.
All right? All right. So, again, The key is the GCC. All right? So the game plan is this. You have to destroy the GCC. Why? Because the GCC is the linchpin of the American empire. So what the GCC does is this. It sells oil, and then for US dollars. Where does it put US dollars? It puts US dollars into the American stock market. All right?
And guess who owns the stock market? Just pick a wild guess. That is correct. God's chosen people.
So this is investments of the UAE, okay, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait into the US financial markets. As you can see, from 2012 up to today, it's been exploding. All right? Because the US financial markets is one of the safest places where you can put your money. The intention is this. The intention is, hey, if I cut off oil and these countries no longer have access to US dollars, they're forced to spend whatever resources they have on protecting themselves, okay? And then guess what happens? The stock market collapses.
Oh no, God's chosen people will lose money, but they will get the land. The Goyim fight. The Ishmaelites and the Edomites. You stupid Goyim. Am Israel Chai. Mashiach, Mashiach, Mashiach. Ay, 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 ay. Mashiach, Mashiach, Mashiach. Ay, 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 ay. That's their song for their Messiah. You can look it up.
The stock market collapses. The stock market is the real growth engine of the US economy. The entire US economy collapses with it. All right? There are about maybe 7 companies in America that accounts for about a quarter of stock market growth. Okay? These 7 companies, of course, are AI companies. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, Apple, okay? These are the companies, and then these companies are heavily invested in by the GCC nations.
And they are all owned by who? God's chosen people.
So if these nations are no longer able to invest in the stock market, these companies will collapse in value.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
And with that, that would lead to economic depression in America. Okay, does that make sense?
Oh no. We're going to be depressed, but we will not be depressed. We will win.
All right, so that is the situation for today. Today was just an overview, guys, okay? I know we covered a lot. I know there's a lot to take in, but over the next few weeks, we will explore each issue in depth and really understand what's really going on, okay?
So yeah, guys, this is what I had for today. I didn't watch that. I was like, you know what? I think this is going to be good. He's going to bring a different perspective, but then I can bring my own perspective and I can watch it with my peeps. Hopefully you had enough popcorn and soda. So right now I will open the floor for some engagements and some questions. If you're interested in the bracelet, Palestinian colors, go to the oliverootspodcast.com. Half of the purchase goes to Gaza. Also, I got Make Israel Palestine Again and Make Palestine Free Again. And I have one that says Yeshua, Jesus in Arabic with a heart. So the oliverootspodcast.com. Thank you. If you contribute, there's a link in the comments that I pinned. And also I'm open for gifts. Thanks. Super likes. All that thing, hype me, comment, please subscribe. If you have not, I'm very censored. Praise the Lord, I'm still getting good engagement, but I think it can reach more people. But, you know, the topics that I discuss are very anti-Semitic. So you guys have questions, let me know, and I will go through and see what we got. I guess they're called super thanks or thanks and gifts. I'm new to this, guys. I'm learning. So let's see. Any questions, guys? No question for me? Oh, no. God bless you all for staying around, sticking with me on this crazy journey. At the meantime, I'm shipping these domestically in the US. I'm trying to find a way to ship them overseas. So bear with me for all the ones that are interested in the hats that live abroad. I will eventually find a way on my shopping cart to do so without charging you an arm and a leg for shipping. So I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of all that. So please bear with me because I am not God's chosen people. All right, let me see. So this is from Gorilla Bear Tech. All right. Do you agree that the Antichrist will come out of Khorasan, Iran, Chosi? I think somebody told me that. I don't know, man. I don't know eschatology, Islamic eschatology. I watch Imam Hussein on YouTube. He's a sheikh. Imran Hussein or Hussein Imran. I forgot his name backwards, maybe. He's from Trinidad, but he knows his stuff. So I like to get different interpretations of things and understand what the other people think. But I think somebody told me that the Antichrist comes from that region with 70,000 Iranians that are God's chosen people. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard. If somebody knows more, they can share in the comments. So I have no idea, but the Antichrist might be a person or a system or AI or spiritual figure. The temple might be a physical one, might be the body, might be who knows what, man. But he's definitely, Jesus says, my sheep, they know my voice. So if you're a follower of Christ, you know who Jesus is. And if you have discernment and you have the Holy Spirit, you're not going to be fooled. But the Zionist Christians, oh yeah, they're going to follow the Antichrist for sure. All right, let me see. All right. TTWSUF question. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? Oh, man, that's the question of the century. Well, Adam came first. So the chicken came first. Adam came first in the full creation, not as a baby, as an adult. So the egg didn't come first, the chicken did. Then it laid the egg. That's how I look at it. So the chicken came first. God created the chicken first and then laid in. But that's my opinion, Take it with a grain of salt. Moha TV, Ivana, Chosi. Well, it's with a Z, but it's all good. Are you married? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope. I am not married. God has a different path for me. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll move to a monastery in the mountains of Russia or Greece or Syria and become a monk. Maybe I'll start doing videos from there and you're like, what happened to him? He looks like Hamas. He looks like Bin Laden. Who knows, man? I don't know what the future holds, guys. I'm doing this for now. That's what God wants me to do. So I'm being obedient and bringing some humor with it. Let's see. Also, guys, make sure you check out my film, thecolonizerfilm.com. Thecolonizerfilm.com. Or just look at The Colonizer on Amazon Prime, Apple TV. It's a parable of the ruin of Palestine in 1948. It's my own money. I created a feature film. I believe it's good to watch. It's great quality. I spent time with my editors on coloring and scoring, which is the music. And I play the bad guy. If you guys don't know, I'm an actor and filmmaker. Not Hollywood, though, independent. So check it out, thecolonizerfilm.com. Or just Google The Colonizer Film. You'll find it. Let's see. All right, guys. I think that was a long one. That was the longest live I've had. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Lord have mercy. Oh, no. All right, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend your Sunday evening with me. The time has changed. It's 8:30 p.m. here. So we had more daylight time, but we lost an hour. You know how that works. But I am Assyrian. I love my Assyrian brothers. Thank you for joining me, my Assyrian brother in Christ. All right, guys. This is the end of the road. May the Lord bless you and protect you. Seek God, seek Christ. Tomorrow's not promised. And be light in the darkness. Until next time, Christ is King. And always, 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 free Palestine.